because I know that I have an investment in Apple. If Apple stocks go high, I get to benefit a bit. You don't have stocks, you don't have shit in Apple, and you keep buying Apple years. Apple. From now till April, if you put £4,000 in a lifetime ISA account, you would earn £1,000 extra. And it's not free money the government is giving to you because they like you, because you are Nanelle Griselda. You were often confused. Do I invest in the UK or do I invest back home?
Guys, you see his knowledge in finance.
Said it before. Hey, stop that.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nanelle Griselda. If it's your first time here, today I have here someone very special. He's actually the husband to a role model. He's the husband to one of my next role models. Yes, so he's very special. I'm privileged to have him on the channel. Please, his name is not Diaspora Careers and Investments. No, that's not his name. That's actually the name of his YouTube channel. We'll talk more about that. Welcome, Shadrach. Thanks for coming.
No, thank you very much. It's rather a privilege on my end to be here. The famous Nanelle Griselda, so I need to conduct myself well. So yeah, thanks for having me.
I know you are a nurse. I know you are a doctor. I know you are a lecturer. You are so many things, and I know you are big on investment and finances and all that. Today we are not going to delve so much about the other things. We'll just talk about your YouTube channel and then finance and then all those things. I'll leave you to introduce yourself, but because I don't like my videos being so long, so just briefly introduce yourself, okay, for people that don't know you. Okay.
Well, I think you've said it all. My name is Shadrach Dare, and I'm a nurse, and I have a PhD, so that's how come I'm also a doctor. I lecture in one of the universities here in the UK. But I mean, well, by grace, so I guess that's me in the nutshell. And as you rightly say, I've got an interest in savings, investments, and just understanding the system that we live in. And when I say we live in, I mean here in the UK.
How long have you been in the UK?
I first came to the UK in 2012 for my master's. After my master's in 2013, went back and then came back from in 2014. So I could say that I've been living in the UK since 2014.
That's a long
Not too long. I mean,
so that means you have your British passport?
No. So that is actually an interesting question to ask, because you get your permanent residency after 5 years on the tier 2 visa, but any other visa should be 10 years. So given that I studied from 2014, and there shouldn't have been a more than 6-month break as well, but given that I went back to Ghana from 2013 to 2014, that 1 year did not count. And then from 2014 till 2018, when I was doing my PhD, I was on a tier 4 visa. And so it was in 2018 when I switched tier 2, when I started working, that I started counting. So in the end, 10 years will be, I think, 2024, but 5 years will be 2023 from the tier 2. So it makes more sense for me to count the tier 2 than the tier 4. You could argue that, is it a waste? I mean, but the experience of living here and the knowledge I've accumulated over the years is what has informed who I am. And
interesting to know, interesting to know. So you did your PhD for 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I finished in 3 years and 2 months, but by the time I graduated, it was the 4th year, because after PhD, I mean, after you submit, there has to be viva and lots of processes, so it took a bit of time, but yeah, within the 4 years, it was complete.
What exactly was your PhD like then?
My PhD was in public health. As I said, I have a nursing background, so I did a PhD in public health, and I looked at why babies die earlier. I've got an interest in maternal and child health, so that's what I do.
Were you on scholarship, or you funded your PhD program?
No, I was very fortunate to win a Commonwealth scholarship. My
wife got a Commonwealth scholarship as well.
Hey, well,
what's the secret? Show me.
We did not know each other from Ghana, I must say. We met when she was on a Commonwealth scholarship, because she also studied in the same city, in Glasgow, because I studied at Glasgow University and she studied at Glasgow Caledonian University. So that's how we met, through Commonwealth events. I tell her that, I mean, I was fortunate to win 2 Commonwealth scholarships for my master's and for my PhD. Watch out for my, video on that on my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about how, I won 2 Commonwealth scholarships, and my wife also won a Commonwealth scholarship. So
I can't wait for that video, honestly. I really want to know. Guys, I will leave a link to Shadrach's YouTube channel in my description. You should also comment as well, so that with your YouTube handle, and then I'll pin it, and then they can easily type it and then go there. From the way he saw it, I'm sure you can see that he's a very learned man. Like, you see.
I'm just too confident,
Yeah. You can get more from his YouTube channel. So, I know you have love for investment, finances, and all that, because you have a Facebook page called Diaspora Careers and Investment.
Yeah.
And then you have a YouTube channel, Diaspora Careers and Investments. What sparked this interest in investment in the first place? Like, how did it all come about?
I think for those of us who I would like to call us diasporans, or those of us who have relocated from other countries to study in the UK or to work in the UK, we find ourselves in a system which is different, and everybody talks about the cultural shock. But we don't talk of the financial shock. Apart from the pound sterling, which is different, the system, the financial system is also different. I don't want to tell a long story, which I've already told on my YouTube channel, but essentially, I had studied up to the PhD level. I would like to think that I'm a bit educated. And yet, I go to the bank and I want to apply for a loan because I think, I've got a decent, job and, I should qualify for a decent loan. And I'm told that my credit score is terrible. And I wonder, a credit score, did we take a credit exams that I'm unaware of? I didn't know there was this credit exams, that was the first shock into the system. And that was years after I've lived here. So I had to, ask friends who had lived here for a long time, friends who are running their own businesses. And I committed a lot of hours into studying and understanding the system. And I must say that once you get to understand the system, it takes a lot of the unnecessary hard work away, because for lack of knowledge, people perish anyway. So it's good to understand the financial system, because we go to work and then we earn, a decent salary. Once you understand the system, it will help you to know where to put what to maximize the opportunities around. Because we moved into the UK because of the opportunities, whether in our careers or in education. So we might as well, commit some hours into understanding the system better to make the best use of it.
Oh, I see. We are just going to talk about practical tips in saving for diasporans. I know you and your wife, you bought your house in the UK. Well done, honestly, well done. You've done well. For those of us that are yet to do that, advise us, how do we save? Practical tips, that we can use.
Maybe I should ask something personal. Do you know what is known as a lifetime ISA account?
Yes, I've heard about it. ISA. I know of Help to Buy ISA.
Okay.
Is it the same thing as a lifetime ISA? Is it the same thing?
Help to Buy ISA has now passed. You can't open a Help to Buy ISA anymore. So the main one now is a lifetime ISA.
Okay.
So between now and April, you have an opportunity to earn £1,000 free money, essentially, if you save £4,000 in a lifetime ISA account. And so that was one of the ways we saved. I mean, after we married, we actually wanted to rent a place, as most people do. Over the years, we had been saving to, get a place eventually. I mean, sometimes we don't even know why we're saving. We're just saving, for the sake of it. And then we wanted to rent a house. It was getting challenging finding a decent place because we had just freshly married and wanted a place that would be good for us. Went to a housing association, was difficult because the queue is so long. But then this housing officer saw my account, and he thought, man, you've got something decent in it. Why don't you just buy a place? And I thought, oh, I couldn't buy a place with this. So that was how my interest actually started into looking into how I could buy a place. So with the little savings we had, I explored, and then you get to know that from now till April, if you put £4,000 in a lifetime ISA account, you would earn £1,000 extra. That is 25% bonus. I know for some of us who've come from elsewhere, when you hear 25% free, your first instinct is it's scam. But this is not scam, because the government is giving you 25%.
Are we eligible if you're not?
Absolutely. And it's not free money the government is giving to you because they like you, because you are Nanelle Griselda. It's your tax, which they are giving back to you, essentially.
I'm offended.
So, no, unintended. Once you are in the UK, I mean, you are over 18 years and you live in the UK, you're eligible to have a lifetime ISA account. And an ISA account simply means an account which is not taxed. So if you know that you'd ever want to buy a house in the UK, you should open a lifetime ISA account, because for every amount you put in, the government gives you 25% bonus, up to £4,000. Can you imagine if you could save any amount and the government to give you 25%? Of course, I'm going to borrow money and, put it all in, but the cap is 4,000. So if you save 4,000, the government gives you 1,000. If you save 2,000, they give you 500.
Okay.
But there are conditions. The money must be used in buying a house, or else the next time you get the money is pension. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you run the numbers, it doesn't make sense to save for pension in a lifetime ISA. So it's mainly for a house. I know some people may say that, but I'm not sure whether I'll buy or not. If you're not sure yet, then certainly don't put the money in, because if you are taking the money out, there is a penalty of 25%. But here is the catch. If you put in 4,000 and you had £1,000 bonus, now it becomes 5,000.
Guys, you see his knowledge in finance. You guys should just go and subscribe to his channel like immediately. I'm learning.
Well, thank you. The catch is that if you put in 4,000 and the government gives you 1,000, now it's 5,000. If you go take the 5,000 out, they will charge you 25% penalty. Now, 25% of 5,000 is 1,250. So essentially, they've taken some of even 250 of your money you put in. So this is the advice. If you are not sure whether you buy a house or not, just open a lifetime ISA account and put in £1 because you can only take the money out after 1 year of opening a lifetime ISA account. So if you know that, you want to buy a place, a house or a flat or, a property in 3 months' time, then a lifetime ISA is not for you because you can't take the money out until after a year.
Yeah.
So while you are contemplating, while you are unsure, because you want to buy with your spouse, your partner, you want to move, you don't know where you will buy, while you are unsure about all of these, put in £1. Remember, the account should have been open for a year. It's not the money should have been put in for more than a year. No, it's not the money. It is the account. So go and open a lifetime ISA account today. You can open from a lot of building societies, whether Skipton, Nottingham Building Society. Just go online and search banks or, where can I open a lifetime ISA account? Open it, put in £1. And by the time you are ready or you are sure that I want to buy a house, you can put in 4,000. Or this is a good time because the 1,000 is for every tax year. And the tax year is from April to April. So the tax year ends in April 5th. If you want to buy a house and you put in a 4,000 now, by April 6th, you've earned a bonus from last year to this year. And in fact, in April 7th, you can put another 4,000 and you get another 1,000. So in less than 6 months or in less than 5 months, you've made £2,000 in bonuses towards a house or towards a flat. And that's exactly what I did. My wife also did the same. So for our place, we saved over 3 tax years. And here I'm emphasizing the 3 tax years. It's not 3 calendar years. The tax year is from April 5th to April 6th. So what we did was that, for example, now we are selling the 2021-2022 tax year. So you can maximize that tax year by putting in your 4,000. You get the full 1,000 in maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks. But for this tax year, you get the maximum 1,000.
I'm doing that immediately.
You must.
Yeah,
and once we hit the new tax year, April 6th or April 7th, you can put in another 4,000 and you get another 1,000. And the good thing about the lifetime ISA is that you don't have to put it in at the beginning of the tax year. In fact, what we did was that because we are not sure whether you will need the money for your mother or money for somebody, we save our money elsewhere. And then once you are sure that, okay, as for this £1,000, they are not needed, then you put it in. You get a bonus of maybe 250. And then when you get another 1,000, you put it in there. By the time the tax year goes to an end, you've put in the maximum 4,000 and you get the 4,000 in bonuses. Remember, you can't put in 1,000 and go and take it back and go and put it back. The charges will hit you. It's also a check for you not to be wasting your money, So once you are sure that, I've saved some 2,000, but I can use 500 for this and then just, manage this one. We had about over 5,000 in bonuses because we are 2. So that also helped. So for gentlemen or men or, we or spouse, if you think, oh, I want to do it on my own, I don't want my spouse, it's in your interest that both of you do it together, because we go like over 5,000 in bonuses. So because we saved over 3 tax years, and so the bonuses went into buying the house. And for that, the government doesn't have a stake in your house. It's different from the help to buy schemes. This is lifetime ISA. It's different from the government doesn't have a stake in your house. And essentially, it's your tax which has been given back to you. So it's not because, the prime minister, likes you, I don't like to play the black card, but there is also the element of the knowledge deficit on our part. So many people will be working so hard, saving because they want to buy a house. But somebody has got £1,000 free money or even £3,000 free money, which because you did not know about it, you are a nurse. How many bank shifts do you have to do to earn 3,000? Oh, you're a big woman, so you don't have to work hard. But
Hey, wow. I need to start. Honestly, like before they stopped the help to buy ISA, I wanted to start to open an account. And then they told me I wasn't eligible. So that puts me off. So whoever I spoke to probably did not have the knowledge, because the person told me I wasn't eligible because I'm not a permanent resident. So I took my mind off. I took my mind off it. So we are eligible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So having a lifetime ISA.
I mean, there are other forms of ISAs people could open, even for the lifetime ISA. The simplest one is for the bank or the building society to keep your money and just pay you the bonuses. But if you actually want them to invest that money for you, they could invest that money. But of course, it comes with the risk of whether you make profit or you make a loss, So, but if you just want to be safe, buy a house in 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, you must definitely open a lifetime ISA. If you're not sure, open the account and put in £1. If you don't have the £1 to put in, just put it in my comment section. I will send you £1 to open. In fact, I need to tell you this, actually. I need to tell you this. I think as nurses, we feel extremely disadvantaged as well because we are not taught financial knowledge in nursing school, unfortunately. We don't, apart from those who study business, these things are not taught in school. And I studied till a PhD, and I never learned any of these. So that as a nurse, investigating this, studying this, I think it should be an encouragement for everyone, to commit something to learning this. I must say also that I've got some very good friends. In fact, one of my friends, the kind of gift we give each other is, you buy them stocks, and we may come to stocks and shares, instead of giving you £20 to go and spend on, Nando's or coffee, I'd rather buy maybe £20 Amazon stocks or buy you £20 Tesla stocks that, well, I want to give you this money, but I'm not giving you in cash. I'm giving you in stocks. If it goes well, you make a lot of money. If it doesn't go well, you may lose something, but essentially it was free money. And I think I like this kind of friendship, where,
Are these friends Ghanaians? Are they Africans?
Yeah. They are nurses, actually. We are nurses, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
So those are the sort of gifts, we give each other. That
we have been buying shoes and perfume. Oh, wow. Wow. Guys, the kind of friends you are supposed to have. What kind of investments can diasporans do, like in the UK and then back at home? Like, in your opinion, what kind of
investment? Every person will tell you that this is not financial advice, so they're not going to tell you that invest in Tesla or something. But I think that diasporans are in a unique position. And that was what made me to actually start the YouTube channel, because you were often confused. Do I invest in the UK or do I invest back home, wherever home is, for you? And we often torn between this, and some, decide to just focus on the UK and then forget about their home countries, and others focus on their home countries at the detriment of where they live. But I think it shouldn't be either or. It can be both, because we have a competitive advantage of knowing our home market. We know that, whether for those from Ghana, treasury bills or government bonds or, some Fidelity or some EcoBank, something you can do that will earn you 20% or something. But in the UK, there are also opportunities for you to invest. You just need to investigate that. And then based on your risk appetite, you see which one to go for. Personally, I am a risk-averse person. Like, if you tell me, Shadrach, bring £10, it will multiply and give you, you've lost me, I'm not interested. I'd rather keep my money to myself. But then I realized that if you keep your money in the bank, the most you're getting is like 0.5%. That is 0.0005. I mean, forgive my friend, you ain't making shit on that, Yet when you go to the bank to borrow money, the least you're going to get is like, say, 3%. And now with inflation going on, they're going to charge about 3-4%. What the bank does actually is this. They take your money, give you 0.5% interest, and then give it to somebody and take maybe 3% or 5% interest, and then give you 0.05. So they are making a profit of 4.95%. Like the math doesn't work. Well, I mean, I'll save you the math. So what you can do is to invest the money. And here in the UK, there are stocks and shares. And I know people don't like the graphs. I also hate those graphs. I really don't understand them. But there are what is known as funds. Because stocks are volatile. And what that means is that if you go and buy Tesla stocks, today Elon Musk will tweet something. And before you realize, the news will come, the stocks are falling by whatever. And then your heart will do boom. And there's what is known as funds. So funds essentially is a collection of stocks. It contains so many stocks. But sometimes you don't know even which stocks do you invest in. Do you invest in Amazon or Microsoft or Google? Oh, then you hear Tesla is good. All these things confuse you. But there are some funds which contains, it's a fund. So essentially it's a collection of stocks. It has a bit of Amazon, a bit of Tesla, a bit of Microsoft, a bit of Google. So that if Tesla is doing well, you get the benefit. And if Amazon is not doing well, it affects you, but it doesn't affect you as much as investing there alone. So essentially, it's a way of cushioning yourself. And those are the kind of investments I really do. And I mean, one popular one is known as S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in America. So it's a fund that contains all of these companies. So if you put in £10 or £20, a bit of it is invested in Tesla, a bit of it in Google, a bit of it in here, a bit of it in an oil company, a bit of it in Versace, a bit of it in Gucci. So in the end, some will do well, some will not do well. But in the last 50 years or so, it's been making about 8% interest rate, over the time. So sometimes it will go up, sometimes it will drop. But over a 5-year period, 10-year period, you are sure that it is rising and falling, but it's rising overall. So by the time you take your money after 5 years or 8 years, you'd have made about 8% compounding interest, which is, sounds good to me than 0.5.
For such ones, how do you even start?
So you need a brokerage account. So there is eToro, there is Vanguard, there is AJ Bell. And I speak about these things on my YouTube channel, but I'm also a starter, I must say. So I invite everyone to join me and study along with me, as I share this journey. But I've done it in the last 1 year. And I think it's good. I must say that when it comes to these investments, there are those who want to study the trends and they invest and then take their money out and make a little profit. I don't do that because I don't have the time, or I don't even understand the graphs. The factors are just too many. But what I do is that's what is called they time the market. So timing the market. When you hear that Tesla stocks are down, they go and buy. And when it's up, they sell it. I don't do that. I do a strategy known as time in the market. So I know that it will rise and fall. But if you put in £10,000 today, it will rise and fall. But in 5 years, it would have risen by 8%. So I'm a patient person. So I don't put in my salary there. No, that's not what I do. It's my monthly. Maybe if I save £200 every month, I put £50 in the stocks and shares, and then I save 150 because I have other plans of, buying a house to rent. So that's another investment people can consider. You don't have the time for other investments you can do. But there are so many opportunities. Recently, myself and my friends, because I don't have a lot of money to go and buy a house to rent out, I came together we're about 5 of us. And it includes 3 nurses, actually. We came together to put our monies together to set up a little company and then buy a place and then sublet. Because if you buy a house today for 10,000, well, not 10,000, 100,000. In 5 years, the house may sell for 120,000. So that 20,000 profit we make among the 5 of us, if we share that, at least we make something. But because we are 5 of us, it means that if we need a deposit of 25,000, I don't have to bring 25,000. It will take me a long time to save that, if I would ever save that. But if we are 5, you bring 5,000, you bring 5,000, you bring 4,000. We put it together. These are strategies which we used back home. Our mothers used to put money together to do a venture. It is about applying this local knowledge in a European context. Anyway, there's a lot. We don't have the time for these things. So,
wow, guys, I am getting so much. I hope you're getting it too. Wow. Shadrach shares this and more on his channel, guys. So just subscribe for more. Please, I need you back on the channel. Okay.
No, I will come. I
was going to ask you about credit cards, but I'm not going to ask you anymore because you have detailed videos on credit cards on your channel that people should watch. Guys, if you're thinking of coming to the UK, you probably heard of credit cards. You want to know whether it's good. Should you take it? Should you not? The types and everything. Shadrach has these and into details on his channel, so I will not waste my time. People get discouraged. Okay, they don't want to do extra shifts because they don't want to enter into the next tax band where they will have to pay 40% as tax on their earnings. Okay, they just want to remain in the 20% tax band. So because of that, it discourages people to work more. So it's like at the end of the year, you're earning maximum 50,000. Is there a way around this thing?
There is a way around it, but it depends on the kind of visa you are on as well. If you are self-employed, then you could file some tax reliefs, for your car. If you travel to your work, you could claim some for fuel allowance because it's business costs. But if you're on a visa and so you are taxed through payee and you're not self-employed, then there's not much you can actually do about that. But the other thing is, you are not charged 40% of your whole salary. There are brackets. So elective maths, taxation from high school, is the first. England is a bit different from Scotland. I think it's the first 12,500. Yeah, the first 12,500 is not taxed. So any tax is applied after the 12,500. Up to the next, they apply 20%. So it's the next. It's not on your whole salary. And one of my godmothers here in the UK says, no matter how much they deduct, there will be some remaining. So essentially, they tax you heavily after you go beyond a certain bracket. Genuinely, you need to rest as well. You need to do other things. So if you feel that, it's not worth, beyond a certain amount, Well, fair enough. But no matter how much deduction they deduct, you still get something out.
What about people that are struggling to save because, we have families back home? People are struggling to save because like now they are like the breadwinners of their family. They have to send school fees to their cousins and their nieces and whatever. What kind of advice would you give to such people?
I mean, with all respect, people's family circumstances are different. So, I mean, if somebody's working here and you've got a wife and kids back in Ghana, to be very, unwise on my part to say, forget about them, just save and, spend your money. No. So people have got genuine commitments. My advice to such people would be that, and this is personal from me, I mean, live according to your budget, according to your plans. There are some people whose parents are here so that they don't have these extra commitments or these black taxes we have to pay in addition. So for such people, if you are living or comparing yourself to somebody whose parents are in the UK or abroad and they are comfortable, or perhaps they are an only child, they don't pay anybody's fees, you can't have the same level of life as they do. Or some of us would have to do extra shifts or extra work in order to balance some of the imbalances in our accounts. I think the main thing is to understand your situation and not engage in any extravagant life, because over here, if you want to drive a Benz or a BM, you go to a shop, they'll give you, once your credit checks out, you'll get it. But once you increase your monthly expenses, it means you can only save little. And some of these things too, the interest on it. So we don't have time for the mathematics. But I mean, when we were trying to buy a place, one of the things we had to do was to check how much money to put down, what is the interest rate, and we compared that to our rent. So that if we realized that how much we were paying in interest was more than our rent, we wouldn't have gone for a house. As much as it feels good to have a house and all of that, sometimes you may not necessarily be ready, because if you live in a flat somewhere in, I don't know, on Northern Ireland, and you're paying £200 per month or £300 per month, and you realize that if you're going to buy a place somewhere where the interest, I'm not talking of the mortgage amount, the interest on the mortgage is say 400 plus insurance plus other things, then maybe you want to take your time, save more before you buy the place, because it's going to cost you more than. Of course, there are other variables I've not considered here, but that is essentially how the sort of advice I give on my channel. That's how I like to, live as well. But there are those who would, you see your colleague, driving a Benz or a BM, and you think it's fancy and it's nice. They go for it and then increase their monthly expenses. My advice is know yourself, have a budget, and be committed to it. Of course, I'm not going to talk about credit cards here, but I use credit cards that give me bonuses and points here. And maybe in a month or in a year, I may earn maybe some free £200, in bonuses. These are not a lot. I know I'm a bit cheap here, but hey, a year doesn't count to anything, but it would have, saved me a month's meal, or, so some of these genuine bonuses you can get, or some of these freebies you can get. I'm not pressured into buying, new things. So I try not to. Some people go to the shop, 80% discount, and their eyes, light up. They say, I got it for 80% discount. It was selling for £100 and now it's £30. So I saved £70. No, you didn't save £70. You spent £30. So, and that's how it is. And the other thing I do is I make sure that I invest in most of the things I use. So S&P 500 is good. So I have a MacBook, and I don't mind buying another iPhone or something, because I know that I have an investment in Apple. If Apple stocks go high, I get to benefit a bit. You don't have stocks, you don't have shit in Apple, and you keep buying Apple years, Apple this, Apple year for Apple that, this extreme. But that's how I like to think. I go to Caffeinaria a lot, the coffee shop. I spend a lot of time there. So recently, I considered buying, one of their, let me see their stocks. How does it even perform? So that while I give them money, maybe I can earn something small from there as well, So essentially, I'm not just a consumer. Ownership is, critical to building wealth. So I rather want to have a share in Caffeinaria, so that or even McDonald's. So while you go to buy McDonald's, we all go to buy McDonald's. But at the end of the day, I'm a shareholder in McDonald's. That's how I like to think, So
wow. I really learned a lot. Please, when are you allowing our wife to come on the channel? When are you leaving her to come on the channel? Because I've been worrying her.
This is the UK. I'm not preventing her from coming, I'm not preventing anyone from coming anywhere, but
thank you so much. So guys, check Diaspora Careers and Investments on YouTube. Let him know that you've actually really benefited from this video. Personally, I have learned a lot. Honestly, I have. And then I hope that as time goes on, if I'm finding anything confusing, I will not call you to tell me. I would rather you share so that everybody else learns on the channel again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So God bless you, and then thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.